really good, guys. I hope you guys are doing great. Hope you guys are doing amazing. You know me, I'm doing alright. Listen, guys, if you're looking for a job, guys, definitely go check out the job board on codingphase.com. We have jobs all over the world, literally, that are being listed on CodingPhase. So definitely go check that out. If you are a junior developer, if you are a mid-level, senior level developer looking for a job, right? Definitely check out our job board on codingphase.com, man. I'm telling you guys, every single day I go in and I log in, man, and I'll be seeing a lot of really, really good opportunities out here for jobs that, people are just not filling in, man. Believe it or not, I know it's hard to believe when you constantly see nothing but videos of like, man, the industry is done. There's no more jobs. There's this, and that. Bro, listen, it's always an up and down, just like in life. But the thing is that there's opportunities everywhere. You just have to show up. If you don't show up, don't expect any type of results, any type of good things happening. You have to actually go and do the work. Okay? That's just the facts. I know a lot of people go in and they try. They're like, man, let me try to see if I apply to a job. They go in and apply a couple of times, and then from there they just stop. I see it all the time, man. Okay? Shout out to Rainier Luna, right? Who had gotten a job this past week. Today is Monday, accountability meeting. I wouldn't be surprised that I start seeing some more new people that just got hired this week. Okay, the market is hot, but for the right skills. It's not just learning how to code, learning the basics. I was watching this video today of this guy. It's actually like it's not a gaming video, but you know how some people, they do that, like they go in and play like Minecraft, and then they start talking about different topics. It's one of those videos, right? So the guy doesn't even show his face, but he was talking about how he has 7 years as a back-end developer working with Java, and for whatever reason he couldn't find a job. Okay, so then he said, let me go in and give this a try, and try to apply for like some web development job, right? I don't know what was the web development job, right? Because I think he has like 9 months or something like that. He can't find a job, right? And what he realized was that everything that he knew about web development has changed in the last, 5 to 10 years, right? So it's not as easy as he thought that it was going to be to get a web development job, right? So he talked about Salesforce. He talked about ServiceNow. He talked about Shopify, which was very funny because I'm like, yo, those are the things that I be telling people like to learn. But he's like, yeah, when he went to this interview, he it was one of the only places that actually gave him an interview, right? He realized he don't know any of those things, right? He don't know how to work with a CMS. They asked him about, have you ever done anything with, WordPress? It seemed like the company wanted to give him the job. I mean, the guy has almost 10 years of development, and literally, you know, because he has so much years of experience, they're trying to give him the job, but they're like literally asking him like for the most basic shit. First, they throw him to the wolves, meaning like, hey, you have any experience with Shopify, right? You have any experience with ServiceNow? He said no. They asked him about AEM. He said no. Right? Because he's a Java developer. Technically, if you're a Java developer, you should know about AEM. He don't know about that. Then they asked him if he even knew just like WordPress, just the basics. They're basically, they're trying to give him the job, bro. They try to give him the job. And he's like, yeah, man, I don't know any of these things. I've been just really just doing back-end development with Java, enterprise level. And he's like struggling. And I'm like thinking in my head, I'm like, bro, all of these things, especially for somebody that has experience, right? it takes anywhere from 2 weeks to a month to learn. Okay, 2 weeks to a month. For someone who has no experience, it might take you 2 to 3 months, right? Especially because if you have limited time. Now, if you don't have a job and you're like, yo, I want to go full time learning this skills, you can learn that shit in a month. But for someone who has 9 years, almost 10 years in the game, a little bit of investment, right? Investing time into like learning new skills, things that are practical that companies are looking to hire for, it gets you a long way, man, for real. Because I'm like listening to this guy, I'm watching this video. First of all, it's hard to watch it when it's a guy freaking playing freaking Minecraft. But YouTube, the YouTube algorithm give it to me, right? And I'm just like listening to this guy, and I'm like thinking in my head, I'm like, man, I wish some of these people would just come to me and just be like, yo, can you help me out? Like, what do I need to get a job in this next month or two, right? And it's because, again, I understand that the YouTube algorithm doesn't really get me to everyone out here, right? Especially how it is nowadays. But, man, a lot of these people need help, man. They just need just that guidance, okay? Just that guidance, because I'm listening to the guy. He has like almost like 9 months or something like that he hasn't found a job, and he's struggling. And in reality, it doesn't take that long to find a job opportunity, especially when you have experience. It's just about learning the right skills. And this is what I tell you guys, man. Sometimes it's not about how much you know, it's what you know. I see it all the time. Like, people come in and they're like geniuses in I don't know, not geniuses, but they know so much shit, like in Next.js, for example, but have no idea what the job market is for like Next.js and React, for example, right? Those two things are hot, right? We love Next.js, we love React, but guess what? So does another 700,000 Indians, right? So does juniors here in the United States, right? So at that point, when you go in and you go to the market and you're trying to get a job for that, it's gonna be extremely difficult, because it's a employer's market. The employer gets to decide, like, okay, we got so many applicants, you know what? We're gonna take our time and we're gonna get the best of the best. And we're gonna make the interview super difficult. So whoever survives, right? We got 5,000 applicants, 10,000 applicants. Whoever gets through this shit, we know we got the best of the best, okay? That's a employer's market, right? You wanna go to things that are putting you in a better position. Okay, because let's be honest, right? Not everyone here is like this, the Jesus Christ, the freaking the Einstein of development, right? Let's just be honest, right? Sometimes you're a junior developer. Sometimes you don't even have work experience. Sometimes you're just getting started. So what you have to do is you got to put things that's gonna give you an edge. Like, I give you an example, right? 2 weeks ago, I was applying to jobs just because I wanted to see what the market was like. I wanted to see what the interviews were like, right? Got some offers here and there, right? But in reality, I was like thinking to myself, I'm like, why am I gonna take like a $95,000, $100,000 job when in reality, like, I make like $400,000, $500,000 a year. Like, it doesn't make sense, right, for me to do that. So I wanted to go to the interviews and do all this stuff, right? Just to see what was out there. But it just doesn't make sense for me. I'll be honest with you guys. Like, if I make like $500,000 after taxes, like, why the hell would I go in and go in and give my time and for a company for like 90 something, $100,000? But I wanted to see, how quickly could I go into the market, apply to jobs, right? And see what offers they will give me. Now, again, I could have went in and say, I'm gonna apply for Google, Facebook, this and that, right? And spend a whole bunch of time on that, right? I could have went in and gotten that road, but I didn't do that, right? I went into CRM, email marketing specialist, Salesforce, Shopify, and in the first week of me applying, let me see, let's wait, hold on, give me a second. The first week of applying, right? First week of me applying. Oh, this. All right. So in my first week, I know I saw you signing. It's just I'm already here. So how can I go when this call?
I'll hold because this is for we have a couple more
Okay.
minutes left. I'll make sure nobody comes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm picking up my kids, by the way, guys. Daddy duties. All right, man. So yeah, like I was saying to you guys, man. So I'm not applying to like these big ass companies doing full stack development. This isn't that, right? Because in reality, if I want to get a job right away, I'm not gonna go the route where there's gonna be 50,000 people applying for the same role. If I want to get results that same month, which I did, you know what I'm saying? And that's the thing that I'm trying to tell you guys, right? When you work at a company, right? You're trading your time for money. You're gonna do that regardless. People think like, well, I'm gonna work in Next.js. I'm gonna work in Rust. I'm gonna work in Elixir. I'm gonna work in Ruby on Rails. I'm gonna work in this and that. Guys, it's a job, bro. It's a job. You're gonna deal with the same assholes, same bullshit co-workers. You're still gonna bump into freaking project managers who want to be on micromanaging you. You're still gonna do 20,000 freaking My fault, guys. I don't know why people always call me when I'm on a live. They love to do that shit. It's like they see me live. Oh, he has time. Leave me alone. I'm live. You know I go live at 12 o'clock. Why are you calling me? But yeah, man. So like I was saying, um, yeah, like I could have went in and started applying at all these major companies, but I want to make my life easy because I don't really care about the job title. I don't care about the company. It doesn't really bring any value to me to go in and be like, well, I spent a month and a half applying for a company, going through 6 different interviews to earn an extra $10,000, $20,000. It doesn't make any sense to go through that. So when you are applying to these jobs, make your life easy. You know, like to me, I feel bad when I hear a guy that has 9 years, almost as much as me, right? I'm a couple of years more than him, but I still don't understand how these guys struggle to spend 9 months, 10 months, a year and a half. I understand when you're a junior developer, but when you are a senior level, mid-level developer, and it's taking you a year, there's things that you're doing wrong. Not only applying to jobs, you're doing it wrong, but also too in your career, you did this shit wrong. You know why? Because you shouldn't take that long for you to find a job. It doesn't matter what type of market it is right now. And people are acting like the market is so difficult. No, the market is not so difficult. The issue is that we're back to like 2014, 2015. You know, it's the same thing. The same stuff that people are going through right now is what people were going through in 2015. They just got sold on this idea that in 2020 and in the pandemic, people were getting hired left and right and being thrown, top dollar for any type of bullshit. But we're basically back to how the industry has always been. You get what I'm saying? Plus, more people that got sold the dream in the pandemic, right? So, Harry goes, yo, bro, I made $1,000 today in the market. Thank you a lot, Joe. I love you so much, bro. Yeah, bro, I love you too, man. I'm glad you're making some money. What stock you played? Freaking, I missed the whole thing. Today was, what was it? BU? I can't remember. Maybe that's the one that you probably made some money on. Bro, I jumped into NUAI. I'm so mad at myself to going into that shit. I should have waited out just a few more minutes, and every other stock booming today. Stocks doing 500%. I'm pissed, bro. So I'm in a cash account because I was on a margin account, but then I switched it to a cash account to limit myself. Because sometimes when I'm in a margin account, I over leverage. So I'm like, you know what? Let me go in, settle down, go into a cash account. And yeah, man, I made like $200 today, bro. But that's it. My cash for the day is done. I have in there, I think it's like 10K. I took out some money out of there, when I moved and do a bunch of stuff. But now I built it up to 10K again. So, but it's just annoying, man. I hate when that shit happens. You go into the market, you jump into the thing that you think is gonna pop, right? But that shit only goes like 5%, 10%, and everything else around you is going 100, 200, 300, 400%. And you're like, yo, come on, bro. But yeah, let me get back into this coding shit, right? Like I was saying, I don't understand how these guys, they work at these major companies, but they like, they're so silo. Like they keep themselves. How far? There's people sometimes. I don't know. I'm over here in my kid's school. Some people. I don't know. I got a short temper, man. Yeah, because this lady's like, yo, move a little bit more forward. Mind you, she's right in front of the car. If I move forward, I'm about to hit her with the car. And she's like, move more forward, move forward. I'm like, bro, you about to make me hit you, and now I catch a lawsuit. Oh, man. Yeah, you use a margin account? Nice. Be careful with that. I would suggest going to a cash account, bro. Go into a cash account because it's, number one, when you use margin, you're losing more. And also, too, it seems good because you get to use your maximum amount 2-3 times. But that's like 2-3 times per week. It's better to have a cash account where you say, okay, if I got $1,000, I could do $100 play 10 times. And if you have $10,000, you do $1,000 play 10 times in a day. You know what I mean? So that's what I would do. So yeah, just be careful. But like I was saying, guys, I really don't get it why some of these guys, it's like they go into companies and they just focus on one single thing. And this is the biggest problem. And I'm going to put it out there. The biggest problem that most developers have is that they are a one-trick pony. If you put yourself in this little hole, this little box, right? When there's no need for you, or when there's enough people that can fill that position that you only do, right? Then now you're stuck. You have to pay attention to everything that happens within a company. How are features being brought up? How conversions are happening in a company? Meaning, how does a company get new customers, new business, into the business, right? Like, how do they do that? Do they run advertisement? Do the advertisement work, right? What type of advertisement they're running? Are they running emails, right? Pay attention to everything. Like, there's so many things that you can learn in a company. But if you go into a company and say, well, I'm a developer, I'm a back-end developer, that's all I do. Yeah, bro, when they don't need a back-end developer, you're stuck because you don't know how to build your own company. You have no idea how marketing works. You have horrible design skills. On top of that, you have bad people skills. You don't talk to nobody in the company. And then now, the day that they don't need that one little trick from the little pony, guess what? The pony's in the street. That's the biggest problem with developers. They focus so much on just the code. There's more to this shit. The code is just a part of the coding phase. You have to pay attention to everything that happens in a company. This is how you're going to go in and make money. And how you're going to go in and always have a job. Because if I work at a company, right? Let's say I'm a Java developer. I'm pretty sure in one or two of the companies that I work for, they use a CMS system. They do some type of marketing campaigns. How do that shit work? How does that work? How do they come up with the features that I'm building? Do I just go in and get tickets and I just build whatever the ticket tells me to build? Do I just go in and kill the bugs that's given to me without knowing how the product works, how the company works? If you do that, when you go in and you get let go from a company, you're going to have a hard time. On top of that, I see so many people that are one-trick ponies, and then once they go in and they work at this company, they feel so secure. Every job, always remember this, every job has an expiration date. I saw a video on TikTok of a guy, he's like, after 22 years at Microsoft, I just got laid off, and he just put his head down. I want to ask that guy, what skills do you build, right, in this 22 years? What else did you learn outside of your job in this 22 years that you've been a developer for Microsoft? What risk did you take in 22 years working at Microsoft that you could say, damn, man, I worked at this company and I took a risk. Maybe I built a side application. Maybe I took a risk and maybe I went in and started doing some freelancing, some Fiverr, some Upwork, right? Because the market is going to let you know what they need. Now, if you go in and you are a one-trick pony and you stay in one specific lane, right? They used to tell you, man, you want to be a master of one thing so you don't be a master of none. Remember that old saying, that bullshit that everybody used to say? Guess what? Guess who's winning? The people that know enough of everything. Just enough to be dangerous. You don't got to be an expert. Just enough to be dangerous. If you're able to do that, right, it just opens up the doors for you to really go in and take advantage of this. If you only show up and say, well, I'm only good in React. I've seen so many people that you go in and you ask them anything about any other framework. They don't know shit about Angular. They don't know shit about Vue.js. They don't know shit about Svelte. They know React. Okay, cool. The day that you can't find a job as a React developer, good luck. You can't find one, right? Go into like even the ecosystem of Java, .NET. Sometimes these people, they go into this ecosystem and they're good ecosystems because technically you will find a job. But when you go in and you just limit yourself, you're putting yourself in a hole. Okay? You just need to go in and be just enough dangerous with a little bit of every skill to go in and actually be profitable. Be a profitable developer. Okay? By the way, for anybody that's watching this, shameless plug, check out the links in the description. Okay? In there we have links to CodingPhase.com. We just basically released the beta, the new version of CodingPhase.com. Right now we have the job boards working for you guys, so that's ready for every single one of you guys. If you are a diamond member of CodingPhase.com and you still have no access to it, email me so I could set you in, right? Every single day I'm importing all the users into it. So all you have to do is just go in and log in. Just use your regular email that you use for Teachable on Codingface, and you should have access. Is for whatever reason you don't have access, just email me. Okay? Email me, admin@codingphase.com. I'll set you up so you could get in. Today we should be launching the resume builder. Shout out to Johnny Lee, who is actually working on the cover letter section of the new website. Okay, and we're gonna be adding a bunch of different projects and lessons, interactive projects, interactive lessons for you guys that have been wanting to learn how to code. So literally, like, you go into the platform, for example, like, how do you do a mobile menu? How do you go in and do a landing page? How do you go in and create a slider? How do you go in, connect to an API and be able to sort through the data? We're also going to be adding a bunch of different lessons so you could practice how to do leak code, right? And showing you how to do it, and why is it that this is the best solution for it. All of that is within codingphase.com. So think about it like this, guys. Codingphase.com is now a one-stop shop, okay? You can come in, learn how to code with videos. You can come in, learn how to practice within the interactive courses. You have projects that we give you. You have a portfolio that we go in and tell you how to build a portfolio. We give you the portfolio templates that you're going to be able to use, the ones that we recommend that will get you the best results. We give you a whole breakdown of how to go in and find a job, okay? And then on top of that, we're searching for jobs for you and giving it to you. Okay, we have a whole bunch of jobs being listed from Indeed, LinkedIn, Dice.com, and a whole bunch of, like, career websites from major companies, all within codingphase.com. So you're basically getting a deal of like 5 services within one platform for one price. Okay, now, anybody that comes into codingface.com, you get access to me directly. Like tonight. Tonight we're doing accountability meetings, right? These accountability meetings is what changes the game, because you could get all the courses, all the different tutorials you want on YouTube, but when you have somebody that you could ask questions, that can hold your hand through the process, that gives you feedback every single week, that changes everything. Okay? You have access to me. Anybody who comes in and signs up before 2026, you are guaranteed to work with me directly. Okay? Anybody that comes in after January 1st, 2026, you get access to the platform. You don't get access to me. Again, this is my gift to you guys to make sure that whoever needs that help and wants that help, I'm gonna give you that help. Okay? So definitely come in and come to Coding Phase. Okay? Shout out to Kashav. By the way, guys, I haven't forgotten about the profitable developer meetings. It's just we had to move. We had to get a new property, do a whole bunch of stuff. So August and September was very shaky. But now we're going to come back in and we're going to do a couple of meetings with you guys that are in the profitable developer that purchased that. And I want to do that to help you guys out so you can make some money independently. I want to see your projects. I want to see your products. I want to see your landing pages. I want to see your advertisement. I want to help you make money independently as a developer. All right. Again, I'm here to help. Yes, it costs, but that's because I wouldn't tell you to come and work for me for free, right? I wouldn't tell you, come, hey yo, could you come in and power wash my freaking garage, right? I wouldn't do that to you, right? I will go in and pay you for your time. It's the same thing for me. If I'm gonna go and do some work for you, right? I'm gonna work with you directly. It costs. You know what I'm saying? But again, it's only for those that want it. Those that don't want it, shit, just keep watching me here on YouTube. The day that you feel like, hey man, let me try this out, because I see people getting results. I've seen this guy been doing this for over 8 years. There must be something that he's doing right, because if not, thousands of people wouldn't be following him, right? Let me see. Is meet for the profitable developer course? Yes, there's a meeting for the profitable developer course. We had 2 already. I said I was gonna do 6, so I'm gonna go in and do October, November, December, January, and February. We'll probably go in and do 1 meeting every single week. Let me see. Shout out to everybody in here. Again, if you guys have questions, any topics that I want to talk about, let me know. In 2025, you must think outside of the box. Curtis Davis says you need code skills plus business skills. Yes, and that's to be an entrepreneur, right? You're gonna need all of those things. Now, we're in a world right now, guys, that, let's be honest, even if you make $100,000 a year, it's not enough, okay? Because life is gonna become more expensive. Okay, now there's days that I'll be like, man, I don't know how people survive with like $30,000 a year, right? Because even I got 4 kids, and we make a pretty penny, and I'm like, man, what I make is not even enough, right? So I don't know how people do it with like $30,000, $40,000, right? Now, guess what? The world is becoming more expensive. I said this shit years ago. This thing is becoming even more expensive. If again, now, if you want to live in the hood where you go outside, you leave your car out, and you come back and you find your car in crates, hey, you're fine. The only thing you got to worry about is getting your Jordans and getting a drink and your bag of weed on the weekend. That's it. That's your biggest expense. That's as far as you go in your mindset. But if you're like me and you like to live good, you like to live in good areas, you like to drive a good car, you like to feel secure that when you look at your pocket, you got money in that pocket, that when you want to go in and say, hey man, people go out to eat, once or twice a month, we go 2 to 3 times a week, right? When I want to go in and say, I want to do a vacation, I do a vacation, right? You're going to need money for that type of lifestyle. You want to take care of, you don't want to be like, man, sorry, kiddo. See that game you want to buy? Sorry, I can't buy it for you. I can't buy no Roblox right now. I can't buy you no Fortnite. This and that. It's $20 right now. Times is hard. No, you don't want to be that guy. Okay? So you got to get your money up. Okay? If you have kids, you have responsibilities. People are depending on you. So what you need to do is you got to start thinking about, how do I go in, learn skills that I can work full time, I could do on the side, and at some point, I'll take the risk to make this into my own business. When you do that, it's a guarantee that you're going to go in and have a more successful lifestyle than the majority of people. The majority of people are living picture. You tell somebody that's 35 years old right now and say, hey man, you got to spend $100 in maybe learning a course for a new skill that's going to get you a $90,000 job or $80,000 job. They're like, I don't know. You're going to have to spend $500 at least on a good computer, a laptop, something. I don't know, right? But mind you, they'll go in and go to freaking to bar, spend $150. They'll go to a strip club, spend $200 in there, right? They'll go in, get nice and fresh. You see me, man. I'm over here with the same t-shirt I had on for the past 2-3 years. Now, you go in and you look at a dude that's like all freshed out and on this and that. I got way more money than him. This is how people move. The people that already got it, you don't have to show it. You don't have to flaunt it, right? What you do is you invest in yourself. You invest in yourself in things that's going to get you more money. And then now, once you have enough money, then you go in and you have a choice. The craziest thing when you broke is that you want to get everything that makes you feel like and look like you are successful, right? When you're already successful, what you want to do is you want to go and grow your money. And on top of that, you want to keep your money because you never want to go broke, right? It's an MBA lifestyle. Never broke again. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of mindset you get once you already got bread. But what I see from a lot of people that is broke or just, you don't have to be broke. You just living paycheck to paycheck. Broke is like, I don't got shit. Right? Paycheck to paycheck just means you surviving. You're not even living. So what do? You got to invest in yourself. Look at me right now. Look, just today I made like $200 on the stock market. How did I make that money? Right? And it's nothing crazy. It's not going to change my life. But I'm making more than somebody working full time. And I did that shit in less than an hour. Okay? So for 1 hour of my time, that's $200. There's times that I'll go in and I'm going to make $3,000 in 1 hour of my time. Now, how did I learn that? I had to invest money. I had to invest time, right? And I had to take risk. Now, I unlocked a skill that I could chill every single day and make my little $100, $200. You go in and you do the math on that shit. At the bare minimum, $200 on a daily basis. There's people right now that have to go in and go to work. They might earn $200. Now you got to minus the taxes, right? And then from there, the money it costs to get to the job, then the money that they got to pay for the lunch break. Now they're leaving with like 90 something dollars after 8-10 hours of work. I do that shit in 1 hour. But what's the difference between me and that individual? I invested myself into learning a new skill to help me make more, to make my life more easier. You get what I'm saying? Same thing with coding. People think like, man, when I started coding, I didn't come in with this mindset of like, man, let me go watch this tutorials on just Tuts Plus. No, I came in, I signed up to lynda.com. I signed up to codeschool.com. I was on the second version of Team Treehouse. I was in, of course, Udemy over time, like probably after like 2014, 2015, when Udemy became popular with like React and certain frameworks. But most of the time, like, I started just from paying for this shit, right? Because yeah, you could go in and say, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna try to learn this skill on my own. And yes, you could learn, but what is your time worth, right? There's people that they freaking waste so much money on so much bullshit, man. It's crazy. Like, even myself, like over the years, I've learned so much, man. This Joe that you see now, it's not the same Joe you met almost 10 years ago. 2017 Joe. You know what I'm saying? 2017 Joe was like, man, I'm about to pull up the Maserati, right? I was literally about to buy the freaking Maserati coupe. It's like $180,000, right? Luckily, I didn't buy it. Luckily, I didn't buy it because when I was gonna buy the Maserati coupe, that would have taken almost half of my savings. And because I had those savings there and I didn't buy the Maserati, that allowed me to build what Codingface is today. I didn't make no money for 2 years. People, man, he must have been. No, I was living on my savings for 2 years. From 2017 to 2019, I didn't really start making bread. But that's a risk that you got to take. It's like me right now. I just sold my house. I just got rid of a bunch of shit. I'm taking another big risk. So instead of me coming in and making, $500,000 after taxes, we're making 1.5, 2.3 million dollars a year after taxes. It's risk. Now I could go in and be like, man, buy me a big chain. Buy me a big chain, right? Get me some. What more where you want me to go? To where? Yo, man. Yo. All right, thank you.
What?
Yo, there's people, man. Shout out to every single one of you guys in here, man. What's going on, kiddos?
I'm over 6 7. Wait, you live right now?
Yeah, we live. What up?
Guys, 6 7.
All right, guys, sit back down, man. So, like I was telling you guys, man, guys, please put your seatbelts, please. There's like a cop right here. I don't want to deal with that shit right now.
I bet they're gonna be spamming 6 7.
6 7 kids. But yeah, man, like I was telling you guys, man, like I'm taking a risk. I'm taking a risk to go to the next level, right? The average person, it's like right now, someone will go in and say, well, man, let me go in and get me even a bigger house or buy me a bigger house with a bigger pool. Nah, we're not doing that shit right now. We're going in and investing into our businesses. So then now when those things come in, it's like it's off the profit of something that's already guaranteed from there on. You know what I'm saying? And just that's what I did in 2017, man. When I was over there, and it's funny because sometimes you work at some companies, right? And you have to deal with a worker, right? A worker is an individual that doesn't see nothing beyond what he already sees, doesn't believe nothing that it's out there. You know what I mean? Like some people that stay in this mindset. I'll never forget this guy. His name was Curtis too. Shout out to him. Dude is an idiot. That dude Curtis, right? Call him Kurt, right? When I used to work at this company, right? 2017. I'm not gonna name no names. I go in, I get myself the Mercedes Benz. I got the GLE at the time. I think it was called the MLE now. Can't remember. I think it's MLE. Before the GLE, right? So I bought it. Boom. It's nothing crazy. It's nothing like out of this world, but it is a fucking very, very nice car compared to what everybody else got. I mean, the owner of the company has a C class, right? And I'm in there in the big boy joint, right? Now this idiot Curtis goes in and because everybody notices everything that's happening, right? Like, oh, who got this, who got that. And I'll never forget this thing. This guy goes in and he's like, man, yo, you sure you're gonna be able to afford those payments? And I was just thinking in my head, I'm like, bro, this poor soul, let's just say poor soul, like, he don't know how much bread I'm making. Like, I was already making like almost damn near 10K on just like side shit that I was doing. Then I have my niche websites, and then I have my full-time job, which was paying me like $7,000-8,000 after taxes. And he don't know nothing about me, but in his head he's like, man, there's no way this guy, because I mean, shit, if the owner of the company, shit, he only got the C class. It's like, no, he got bread. When you got bread, you don't even need to get you don't need to get the big joint Mercedes. He gets a simple little thing, and then he gets his wife a nice little Volvo, right? At the time when I was like still coming up, I didn't understand that. I was like, why he don't just, man, if I got the money that this guy got, I'll be in here with a Rolls Royce, right? But there's shit that you gotta grow, right? There's things that you gotta grow. And at the time, I needed to grow. I needed to understand that, right? But it was funny to me that this other guy was like, nah, there's no way, it's like, you sure you're gonna be able to afford those payments? I'm like, bro, that shit's $700, right? Cars wasn't as expensive as it is now. You go in and try to get that same GLE, that shit's gonna be $1,100 right now. $1,100 to $100. But for him, he's like, man, how, you sure you go for it? I'm like, bro, I'm good. And shout out to my boy Joe that was in there in the job. And he was like, bro, like, Joe's good. Yeah, shout out to my boy Joe. Joe always used to call me Joe Benz, right? Now, it's funny how people connect you to something once they see what you're doing, right? They see what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Because if not, I would have been Maserati Joe, right? Lamborghini Lewis. You know what I mean? Aston Martin J. You know what I'm saying? But we moving differently. You know what I mean? Sometimes people don't believe it. Don't believe in what you're doing. And that's why you got to prove them wrong. But with all of this, what I'm saying to you guys is you got to go in and you got to invest in yourself. Because that's what I've been doing. I just keep on investing in myself, learning new skills. I don't stop learning. Guys, when you guys see me, most of the time, am I in my computer, yes or no?
Yeah.
Am I coding? Am I like looking at YouTube videos or learning something new all the time?
No, not really.
Not really?
Not
You-
really.
But I don't be on YouTube like the thing is that I be on YouTube, but not the YouTube that they think, like, watching video games and stuff like that, right? I watch like regular, like, content for like business owners, how to market your businesses, stuff that is boring, right? How to trade, what happened in the market today, what are trades that's coming up. Like, those are the things that I'm doing.
So, for example, here as superhero, you'll be watching like training tutorials for like other superheroes they've been superheroes longer than you.
Yes, exactly. So If you're a superhero, he said,
Like the Incredibles.
if you're a superhero, you're watching tutorials from other superheroes that have been superheroes longer than you. That's exactly what I do. Yeah, man. So with that being said, guys, like you have to go in and constantly learn. Don't go into these companies and just be like a dentist and just walk around not even knowing like what happens in the company. You have to pay attention to it because that's where the money is. The money is not just you going in and just doing freaking one job. You gotta know how this company works so you could one day build your own company or come up with a better idea or even become their own competitors. Because remember, they're only giving you the crumbs. I mean, because that's what you're supposed to do. If you're a good business owner, you give your employees the crumbs that you got left. You don't give them the whole thing because you're the one that took the risk. They didn't take the risk. So they, so they have to go in and do what they have to do.
Never be that guy. Never be Gamer.
I don't know who's Gamer Jack.
He's like in the Incredibles. He's like the reckless and he saves like the attractive woman first. And like if they're
Oh,
if
he's
they,
saving the attractive woman first. Let me open the door for you guys. So yeah, man. So to never downgrade.
and
You
if
know what I'm
they're
saying?
very ugly, like and they have like a laser pointing out their head, he like saved them for last.
Shout out to the squad, man. So we here. You know what I mean? Nice little neighborhood, nothing crazy, right? And that's how you're supposed to do it, man. That's why I don't know, bro. I'm so happy that like I learned so much shit over time because and it's crazy sometimes. How can I say this? Like sometimes you wish, guys, go through the garage. That door's closed. Sometimes, you know, when you like dead broke, you like, man, I wish I had all this money. This isn't that, bro. If you would have gave me bread when I was like, when I was like, I don't know, 21, 22, I would have blew through that shit. That's why I be seeing a lot of the like TikTokers and YouTubers and this and that. They're so young and getting bread like crazy, but by the time they're like 25, 30 years old, they're broke already. And it's because you haven't gone through that stage of life of like understanding how all of these things work, how you're supposed to invest your money, how you're supposed to save it, leave bread for a rainy day. Anything could happen. I mean, look at this. I mean, think about it like this. All the stuff that happened to me the past 2, 3 years, right? I had 2 hurricanes hit my house, right? And I'm still up. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's people that they go in and they gotta fucking go bankrupt. Freaking, you know, they lose everything. The insurance don't pay for nothing. We left out of there like nothing happened. Like, you know what I'm saying? Other than the stress. But with that being said, it's because I didn't go crazy. I didn't go in and be like, remember I was like, yo, I'm about to pull up the Lamborghini. Imagine if I would have, and right before I was thinking, I was like thinking about that. I'm like, man, I should just get a Lamborghini. Cause I'm seeing my boy, Will Motivation. He got like 2, 3 Lamborghinis. He got 1 Ferrari. And I'm like, man, I could do that shit. Why am I not doing it? And it's like, it's different. You got responsibilities. You got responsibilities. You know, you got 4 kids, you got a wife, everything falls on you, and you never know what's gonna happen, because that's how life is. So when some shit bad happen, I always got it. I always got it. And when I need to go in, revamp what I'm doing, I have the bread to push me to the next level. If I don't do that, if I don't have that, and I don't be smart, like if I would have gotten my bread when I was like 20, 21, bro, I would have been dead broke right now. I would have been fucking lost in the sauce. Y'all would have seen me with a GoFundMe. Yo, guys, I need a, I need, yo, what's going on, guys? I need a GoFundMe. Y'all know I took care of you guys for years. I need a GoFundMe, right? But the truth is, no one's gonna help you out. But the worst thing that you want to do is be at the bottom, because when you could help everybody out, you could do all this stuff. When you go to the bottom, people just walk away from you. When you up, everybody, you know, it's like honey. It attracts everybody. Now, when you're like shit, only the flies get close to you. So never let yourself go to the bottom. That's extremely important. It's a lesson learned a long time ago. Go in, never let yourself go all the way to the bottom, no matter what it is that you do. But again, guys, by the way, check out the links in the description, codingphase.com. Links is in there, man. I'm telling you guys, tonight is accountability meeting. If you've been wanting to sign up to codingphase.com, this is the moment, right? Monthly subscription, 20% off. Yearly subscription, 20% off. Links on the description. Take advantage. The only reason that I will say, hey, sign up now is because you're not going to get what we offer right now in 2025. You're not going to get that in 2026. At least your grandfather in. Once you're in and your grandfather in, and you say, okay, I signed up previous of 2026, guess what? Now I get in the full package. What's going to cost $2,000, I'm getting it for 10% of the price. That's just the facts. You know what I'm saying? Because we're not going to do that for no one. You know, I just hope that somebody that's out there that's watching this, that's like thinking about taking the risk. You know, it's a risk. You know, you go in, you think about it, it's like $200, $100, whatever it is, and you're thinking to yourself, man, it's a risk, bro. But it's a calculated risk because you're not jumping into a boot camp. A boot camp is, yo, bro, I'm jumping into a risk. I'm getting a loan. I'm doing this and that. This is a calculated risk. If you don't like this shit, you get a full refund. And if you go in and you sign up for a year, right, you basically paying $20 a month, $18 a month. That's what really comes out. Like, that's not money that you be like, damn, oh my God, I fucking took such a big risk, bro. Like, that's not big risk. You know what I'm saying? It's a calculated risk. Let me try this out. Let me see if this thing works for me. If it worked for other people, it can work for me. There's nothing different than, you know, what other people are doing than for me. So if I could go in and get this service, let me take advantage of it. Let me see. Shout out to everybody in here. $200 a day times 20 is what I'm making my job again. Thanks, y'all. I owe you so much. It's insane. Eric Willing trading course. Yes, the trading course is coming up soon. It's just I got to do a couple of stuff from the new version of Codingface, and we're focusing on the future-proof email development course. And the reason that is because that's going to be the biggest product for Black Friday, right? That basically comes with everything that you need to know about email development, right? Right now we're getting ready. I'm seeing like trending a lot of marketers, people who are in the marketing field that don't know how to do emails, right? And a lot of people are missing out on that. So that's a huge audience and a huge market that I haven't really tapped in. This Black Friday, we tapping in. You know what I'm saying? So that's a bag. That's $200,000 right there. Just on that. That's why I tell you guys, I'm like, yo, come to Codingface. You know, I want to take care of you guys. But to be honest with you, like when I come to YouTube, this is for me to hang out and chill with you guys. Like I go in and do a shameless plug. Go to codingphases.com, but I don't make no bread from YouTube like that. You know, because I could have 100 people in here, and 100 people, only one person comes to Codingface. I go in, I put $100 in advertisement every single day, and then from there, I get 5 to 7 people that sign up. So it's like, again, when you see me here, and I mentioned Codingface, it's just, it's a formality. It's not really like, I'll be honest, I want you to come, but I'm not counting on you coming. You know what I'm saying? You come if you want to come, okay? The truth is that there's people looking for the services and these products that we provide on Codingface, and I'm fine with that. When I come here, I just come here to chill. But I like to drop some gems and put you guys on. If you guys want to come in, come in. Come in. Trust me, take advantage. You know what I'm saying? He says, Ty Lopez is here in my office. How your kids threw you under the bus happens 100% when you ask the type of question. But Codingface is not just a coding channel. There's a lifestyle channel to make bread. Timeless advice. No, they ain't throw me in under the bus. They just don't know what I was talking about. They're talking about like YouTube, like, you know, because they don't see me on YouTube, like watching YouTube, like how they watch YouTube. That's what they really mean. Like when I go in and I do watch YouTube, it's in the nighttime or like right before we go eat. I'll go in and I'll start looking at what happened in the market, like at 4:30. I'll go in and start looking at what's happening in, just in the tech industry overall, seeing like, doing research and stuff like that. For them, YouTube is like watching fucking YouTube shorts and watching little stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But they know I'm 24/7 on my computer. I'm constantly working and I'm constantly learning new things. You know what I mean? So yeah, they ain't throw me on the bus. They're little kids. They don't they don't understand the difference between YouTube Shorts and YouTube where you're learning skills. They all they do is YouTube Shorts, TikTok, and fucking just swiping up, brain rot. You get what I'm saying? I try to limit them to be on YouTube because they don't learn nothing on that shit, bro. And that's like a lot of people, like grown folks, is stuck on that, just on brain rot. How many of you guys go in and just be watching fucking, random videos of like, man, how many, like tech industry is oversaturated. Tech industry is not going this and that. That's brain rot, bro. They make money off your shit just for you to invest, an hour in that bullshit. And you don't learn nothing. They don't give you motivation. They don't push you to learn anything else. They just go in and give you what you were searching for, what the algorithm puts in front of you. And if you watch it, then you just go in and you're giving them exactly what they want. They want to get paid those little bullshit 10 cents. Like for me, I don't care about YouTube views. When I come here, I could be here with 10 people and I'll still have fun. I still enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? Because in reality, I don't make bread from that. I make bread by going in, talking about topics, talking about what's happening in the industry, showing, my knowledge and my skills that I have as far as like how to get people into the game. You know what I mean? And how I can go in and show from my own, my own experience, like how I did it. When people come here and they watch me, they say, interesting. I've been seeing this guy. I don't know what he does, but I've been seeing him for 2, 3 years. This guy fucking works for his house. He does this and that. He says something about coding for. Let me try it out. Let me check it out. Right? Cool. But the average YouTuber, what they do is just create content just to go in and keep you in this loop. You know, that's why when I go on YouTube, I search what I want. I don't go in and be like, I'm scrolling or I don't do that shit. That shit's a fucking waste of time. Let me see. Shout out to Megatrace says, Megatestics says, you don't know me, but you have been my motivation. I don't have money to join your program. That's how I am miserable. But next month, I'm going to land a job to purchase a course. Look, man, I'll work with you, bro. Like, if you, I don't know why I always do it, but, bro, if you're in a really bad situation, man, and you want to come to Codingface, and email me, bro. I got you. Let me see how I can help you out. Now, I can't do it for free. What I'll do is I'll give you the services at the price that it will cost me. Now, again, I don't want 20,000 people emailing me, yo, this is, because in reality, like, I can't do that for everybody. But I know there's like once in a while, like we have to go in and do that because there's some people that they're against the wall, but they really want to do this. Come in. As long as you basically cover what it costs me, I'll go in. I'll give you my time. I'll help you out. Give you the process. It is what it is. I'm not a money hungry person. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, even if I right now go in and just do trading, like, if I make $500 a day, bro, I'm good. My average right now is $600, $700. The last 2 days I've been, the last 2, 3 days I've been kind of low, 200, 300. So it's been bringing my average down. But at that point, like, what more do you want? You know what I'm saying? If you make $500, $700 a day, like, do you have to be money hungry? Do you have to be like, squeezing as much as you can out of somebody? No, I'm not like that, bro. So I'm here to work with you. It says, do you smoke because of the light? Damn, you noticing everything. I can't bring nothing out here, bro. Dudes is in here like, yo, to see smoke, I see a lighter. Listen, that's for me to know. But I don't smoke no weed. I don't do none of that shit. I keep my mind clear. The most I do is like, I might go and drink a little something, but I don't do drugs and stuff like that. You need your brain. Your brain is very important. And even alcohol can also too like mix mess up your shit. But that's why I just limit. You know, keep yourself on a limit. Uh, Let me see. If anyone here thinking about signing up Codingface, do it. Follow Joe. No Joe, the community's path to success. Thank you for that. The Amandas. McDude says, what channels you watching on YouTube that are good for developers to watch? That's the thing. I mean, there's not that many people. I mean, who I watch as a developer, I would say Theo, right? But I do want to put this with a warning. Theo's content is not for beginners. If you're trying to get into the game, Theo's content is not for you. And you have to understand it. It's like exposure of the content that a senior and mid-level developer is going to, you know, enjoy. But that content is not for junior developers. Because a lot of the stuff that he talks about would not get you a job at all, especially with the market. But it's good for someone like myself that I've been doing this shit for, almost 10 years. I mean, shit, 10 years. It started in 2011, way past 10 years. But for me, I enjoy his content because it just keeps me updated on like what stuff that's happening. So it's like, it's good content. It's like CNN. You watch CNN or Fox News, right? It's like news. You know what I'm saying? So I like that, right? Who else I like that I would watch? Um, I always say my boy Traversing Media. I always like to keep up on what he's doing. Let me see. I like Dennis Ivy for sure. Dennis Ivy. Um, Shit, even Chris Sean. I haven't seen Chris Sean dropped in a long time. Chris Sean is doing his own thing. He got a wife. He got he building his family. So, but those are the people that maybe when I do have some time I'll watch. But I don't watch like YouTuber developers. They don't teach shit, to be honest with you. They just go in and do the same tutorials and tutorials and tutorials, or they just go in and talk about the latest things constantly. And it's like, for that, I'd rather go in and I'll go and watch Theo. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather go and watch Theo than going in and watching just a bunch of YouTubers. Like, they don't teach shit. Now, if you want to go in and for as a developer, someone who wants to be an entrepreneur, I would suggest watch small business owners. Search power washing, search um, uh, lawnmower, search that type of content. Now, you might say, why would you watch that, Joe? Why, as a developer, would I watch that? Well, there's things that they talk about in there that help you as a business owner. You know, word of mouth, how to do advertisement, how to promote yourself out there. Always remember this. A lot of the content that is being shown by developers is content of just you going in, having to apply to a company, and then that's it. The company does everything for you. And that puts you in this loophole where it's like you can't do shit because that's all you know. All you know is having someone go in, give you a ticket, and tell you what to build. Now, when you are watching videos from like small business owners, it could be even digital agencies and things like that, or people that sell digital products, you start seeing how is it that they attract customers? How is it that they figure out pricing, right? How do they come up with like bundles of things that, someone comes in and says, hey, I will go in and power wash the front of your garage for, let's say, $200. But you know what, man? I think you have a little something here that's a little bit dirty. I'll do that for an extra 50. Mind you, that shit don't cost him anything to do. He just made an extra $50 on top of it. You know what I'm saying? So there's like little things like that you learn from people that's actually, you know, having a business, that it keeps you sharp. So those are the type of videos that I watch. I watch a lot of software as a service videos. Um, like now they've been popping up a lot. lately, so I like to see what other people are doing. In a sense, it's funny because I'll be like, yeah, that's exactly what I do. But most people that be watching that content, they'll be like, oh my God, they're giving so much gems. And I'm like, bro, this is exactly what I fucking been doing for years, right? But I like to see it because I'm like, oh shit, it's cool. Like other people do the same shit that I do. Um, I like to see content about trading, right? I like seeing Ross Cameron, even though his strategy doesn't work for regular people. It just doesn't work. I'll be honest. Ross Cameron is great, got great educational content, but he forgets like who's his audience, right? That's one of the main reasons why I'm making my own trading course, because the average person doesn't have $100,000 to risk and sell with 10% and make $10,000. You know what I'm saying? The average person doesn't have that bread, and they're not gonna go in and say, "Well, man, I only got $100, and this $100. If I make $10, I'm getting out." Why the hell would you go in and spend 20, 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours to go in and make $10? Most people's not gonna do that. So the way how he trades doesn't work for the average person because his trading is so fast that it only makes sense if you have a lot of money. He don't hold for more than 2 minutes. He holds 1 minute, goes in, makes 10%, sells. And he coming in with $100,000, $200,000 worth of bread. So when he goes in and gets 10%, he makes $20,000 every single play. The average person doesn't have bread like that. I don't got bread like that to be fucking just throwing in 200,000 and be like, yo, whatever. Like, that don't work. You get what I'm saying? When I go in calculated. I go in and say, okay, I need to get a 20, 30, 40%, how you call this, in profit. Him is a 5%, 10%, sometimes 3%. But share, his amount of shares that he buys is so much that even if he goes in for 5 cents, he make $10,000. But that tells you, if 5% is, you do the math. If 5% is $10,000, how much did he really buy? How much did he really buy, bro? Dude is like, yeah, bro. Ross Cameron's man. Nah, bro. Ross Cameron goes in and out. Anybody could do that. Like straight up, anyone could do that. If you want to go in and say, I want to make 5%, you could go in and make 5% right now. 5% happens at least 10 times in most stocks that are under $10. It happens at least 10 times in one day. Anyone could do that shit. That's not like skills. That's not like, oh my God, I'm telling you, I've been doing this shit for 3, 4 years. No, like anyone could go in and make 5%. The issue is when you have a small account and you're not doing margin. Like for him, like he's doing right now a small account challenge, which is not really a small account challenge. And like that's why I like him, but I'm about to stop now. I'm not even gonna watch him no more, to be honest with you, because it pisses me off watching his strategy, and it looks so good on paper when you be like, damn, he just made 50,000, he just made 100,000. But when you go into the technicals and you start paying attention to what he does, it's fucking anyone can do that shit. Because if you go in and you just only getting 5%, 10%, and you get out, but you're doing it on margin, and on margin, you could do it multiple times in a day. And he's doing leverage like 4x, meaning that he goes in with, like right now, I think he started with 2,000, and he buying $10,000 worth of a stock. The average person, one of you guys go in right now without knowing what you're doing, and you go in and you buy $10,000 worth of leverage, and you get in on the wrong time, automatically you're gonna lose your whole $2,000 in one shot. Margin call, easily. So the average person is not gonna be able to do that. So his videos is misleading. It might work for somebody that's already doing 10 years, 5 years, has a good amount of money, and also too, like knows how to set up their shortcuts. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of stuff. Like I used to think like he was like, he is legit because he does teach a lot of good shit. Like if you watch him, you'll see the educational videos that he has are really good. But the way how he trades, his strategy is horrible. That shit is a guarantee to lose money. I lost a lot of money following him. When I started realizing, I'm like, wait, but why does this shit doesn't plan out? I'm like, okay, I started watching all his replays, looking at the how much he's getting in profit, what are the fees, and then I started looking at him like, wait, this motherfucker's buying $100,000 worth and selling once it goes 5 cents. I can't compete with that because to me, if I spend an hour in front of a computer, I can't go in and be like, yo, I'm gonna leave out of there with $40. You know what I'm saying? Like that don't make no sense. So yeah, that's the thing that I was like, hell no. Like I recommend to watch him, but don't follow his strategy. It just doesn't work for small accounts. If unless you coming in with 50 to 100,000 every single play, you're not gonna be able to make no bread. Cause his thing is so fast that you just end up losing. Yeah, Bree Pond says Rose Karen has deep pockets, so most retail trades can't do what gets away with. Hell no. Yeah, you go in also too. That's why he has what's the name of this broker account, Lightning or something like that. How you doing, bro? Um, yeah, he's like he got Lightning Fast or something like that. I can't remember the name of his broker. That shit is like super fast, like in and out, right? The average person is trading on Webull, Robinhood. You can't trade like him. You're just gonna lose money because even if you go in and you send your 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 trade and you're trying to get a 5 cent sale, you're not gonna get filled and you're gonna lose bread. Light speed, yeah, light speed. So yes, his thing is like I don't know. Like in the beginning of the year, I was like watching him. I even paid for his course and all the stuff, and his mastermind, his membership. But then when I started really like going into it, I was like, bro, this shit, I'm losing money following this guy. And then I started going into all his replays, all of his shit, and I'm like, oh, I got bamboozled. I got bamboozled. Because his education topics are good. It's just his strategy doesn't work for the average person. And it's not gonna work because you need capital. You need a lot of capital for his strategy to work. If I have $100,000 and every time that I go in, I buy $100,000 worth of something, yeah, of course I go in, but shit, 1% I just made $1,000. You know what I'm saying? But now you're talking about the risk. And if you go in and try to do that on Webull, when Webull you go in and you trade, and sometimes when you trade, it'll come up to, let's say you right now is you getting at 3.50. You go in and you do your shortcut and you say, okay, try to sell at 3.60. Sometimes it fills you at 3.60. Sometimes you might get filled at 3.57. But sometimes it'll be so fast that it goes up and comes right back down that now it's at 3 point, you know, 3.42 or some shit like that. Right there, you just lost 2%. So that's $2,000. If you was to go in with $100,000, you just lost 2%. Like instantly, you just lost 2%, $2,000 in one shot because it's not quick enough, it's not fast enough for you to go in and out. You know what I mean? Yeah, you wilding, Henry. I don't know who putting you on, bro. You gotta slow down, bro. I'm telling you right now, don't use margin, bro. I'm telling you because I lost a lot of money with margin. Like now I'm in a really, really profitable stage. But I'm telling you, you're gonna catch a big L and it's just gonna wipe you clean. It's the best thing to do is do cash account. Once you get it to a cash account, then you go in and you build it to $25,000, then you use margin. Because now it's not really on money from your pocket. It's money that you already made and have proven that you have actually been able to get to 25,000. It's like right now, I could go in and put 50,000, 100,000 into my account. I don't do that because I've already done it, and I know that when you have that much money in there, it's easy to go in and go big on something by mistake, and then now plus margin, you lose all your profit. Now what I do is I go in, every month I go in, get it to 15, $20,000. Once I get it to a certain point, I take my money out and put it into another account. Put it into another account, leave it there. I'm always trying to just have under $10,000 in there. I don't want to have no more than that because you could easily get caught up. Trust me. Just in July, I just got caught up on one day, $15,000 L, because you could easily go into a downward spiral. You're trying to make your money back. You're on leverage. You want to jump into the next trade. It happens. You might say, "Man, I got control." No, it's not. It's not like that. The guys that got bread, they don't have their all the bread in their account. They go in and they transfer it to another account, transfer it to another account, and they limit themselves. It's a way to go in and put yourself on a limit, and it's much better. Even with me, with like 3, 4 years, that's my only advice that I will tell you is like, bro, go in, get your bread, boom, start putting it to the side, take it out. Don't leave it in there, because then if you go in, there's gonna be a moment where you're gonna wanna go all in, and next thing you know, you just threw $10,000 in, that shit drops 20%, because it could easily drop so quickly like that, and now you're literally, lost what, freaking $2,000, $4,000 that might have taken you a month, 2 months to build. Yes, revenge trading is real. Now I do it like in and out, boom, 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 take my bread, put it to the side. And that's it. That way I always have money, and, fucking use that shit to buy shit out here. I've seen a lot of people that they also get suckered in this idea of like, man, I'm building a portfolio. No, if you build a portfolio, it has to be a long-term portfolio, like something you leave like on Apple, Nvidia, you leave that shit there forever. And you leave it until you want to retire or some shit. I see people that they go in and they're like sort of building their portfolio and they're trading in and out, trading in and out. You're gonna lose money like that. When you do day trading, you gotta have a different strategy than actually investing. Ricky B, I don't trade. I hold long-term GameStop. I don't know how you guys use fucking GameStop. Like I can't. That shit was popping in the pandemic, and from there, everybody talking about GameStop. That shit, to me, that shit is dead. Yes, Michelle, we really want your trading course. When will it be out? I want to get it done by Black Friday. By Black Friday, I want to get it done. But I'm doing all the stuff that I have to do to set everything up so Black Friday could be a good, successful run. I want Black Friday to be a $500,000 month. You know what I mean? But I have to do the certain things I gotta do in a specific order. I gotta get the new version of CodingPhase.com completed. We already were able to load up the courses. Took me forever. Now I gotta get another company to host the videos. We got the job board working right now. All the jobs is in there. It's automatically set up. We have the verified jobs, right? I got Johnny working on the cover letter part of it, and then from there I got a bunch of lessons that's already set up. I'm probably gonna load them up tonight. But like I said, this is why CodingPhase V4 is on beta. It's like everything is being built out now. You get an early access to it, but by Black Friday, you're gonna have everything there. Same thing with the future-proof email developer course. That's gonna be 100% completed, and then maybe the trading course is gonna be out. The trading course is my last thing on the list, just because in reality, like, how many of you guys would even want to learn how to trade here? You know what I'm saying? Like, not a lot of people look at trading as a scam, as a thing that you could lose money. Not a lot of people is interested in it. I mean, Tell me the truth. I mean, shit. If I'm over here trying to help people out get into a job so they can make some bread, and be like, hey man, it's gonna cost you $20, right? And that's like pulling teeth to help people out to do that. Imagine going in and be like, hey guys, I got a trading course to help you go in and make, at least $100 a day. How many people is gonna be interested in that? Because I'm not gonna sell you a dream. I'm not gonna be one of those people. How to make a million? How to make it? Mm-mm. That's how people will go in and sell a dream and never get to deliver. I can definitely help you get to a point where you're making 100, 200, 500, and a good day, 1,000 a day. But because I know you need capital to make capital. But how do you build it? That's the plan for that course. So it will be teaching the foundation of it, teaching everything that you do need to know, how to use the software, and how to find the right stocks, and then from there, how to guarantee for yourself. Not that I'm guaranteeing to you, but guarantee to yourself that you always stay profitable. Even if you make $50 in one day, right? It's not life changing money, but it adds up. A year from now, you go in and you calculate 50, right? Somebody calculate 50 times 365, right? If you're able to make that on a daily basis, you're winning. Because the following year, now you're going in and doing the same thing, where you're making 200 a day, then 300, and then at some point you got 5 years, 10 years in this thing, where you know how to really do it, and then you take that risk on yourself. We say, well, now I want to go in and start trading $10,000, $20,000, $50,000, $100,000. But you gotta go through that process. If you cannot be profitable, if you cannot make $50 to $100 a day, you should not be going into trading with big money. Shout out to everybody in here. Yes, $50 is tax as short-term capital. But to be honest with you, it doesn't. Sometimes people worry so much about the taxes, but it doesn't matter. Like as long as you're making bread and it's going up, like that's what's important. Because I don't worry about the taxes. To be honest with you, I do a bunch of day trading, and I'm not worried about the taxes. Because as long as you're profitable, that's what's important. If you go in and you make $10,000 and you have to go in and pay an extra $2,000 a year, who cares at that point? Like you're profitable. You know what I'm saying? Like you're profitable. Who cares? You got to pay taxes. Sometimes I see people that they get stuck on this idea of I got to hold it long term because of tax purposes. Bro, taxes, unless you're making like mad bread, also too, like unless you're making like a certain amount of money, like we're talking about $500,000 and up, like